Hey, everybody. Welcome to Pink Shade. It's Tuesday. Welcome to Tuesday. It's 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After Day. And you guys, my girl Kimberly is still down and out. She hurt her back. Everybody put all your healing vibes towards Kimberly. But guess what? We've got a girl that sounds just like Kimberly. It's Amye Archer of Little Miss Recap.
Hi, Mary Payne.
Hey, I'm glad that you could fill in. And like you said, like if I wouldn't have even announced it, people might have just thought you were Kimberly.
Yeah, we could have just pretended I was. Except I have declared myself today. Mm-hmm. I'm part of the Tortured Poets department.
Okay. That's a Taylor Swift reference?
I think she wrote this album for my teenage self. It's all about poetry. It's all about real dramatic stuff. The video Fortnite that she does with Post Malone has my boys from Dead Poets Society in it. I'm telling you, I'm all about this. And I was like, I liked Taylor Swift, but my girls are not Swifties. So I was like, okay, like I like her, but whatever. Yeah. Then I heard this and I was like, this is for 15-year-old Amye Archer. This is it. This is the modern day Indigo Girls Rites of Passage album.
Okay. All right.
Kids. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I understand. I'm also not a Swiftie. I enjoy Taylor Swift. I think she's talented. Yep. I think she's super talented, obviously. Mm-hmm. And I enjoy her music. But, I know the hits. I probably don't know any deep cuts.
Yeah, right. Me too. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's fine. The hits are enough. That's,
But you put out something with Tortured Poets in the title. I'm listening to it.
Yeah. You're going to be all over that shit.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And it's wonderful.
I think that I read, and I don't know where I heard this, was the title is like a kind of a dig at
like an ex of hers or something.
Her ex-boyfriend is some famous British actor.
Yeah, and he had like a WhatsApp group.
Yeah, and they were called
you know who I heard this from? My mom.
So you may as well have heard it from me. I'm about the same age.
My mom. No, you're not. My mom, who cannot name one song of Taylor Swift's, is obsessed with Taylor Swift.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's real weird. My mom doesn't like music.
Okay.
Isn't that kind of weird?
But she likes Taylor Swift. She just likes her as an idea.
She just likes her, right. She likes her as an idea. She likes her and Travis. She's all invested in this now. I see her, how parents don't know we can see what they're commenting on Facebook? My mom will comment on some of these pages that are like hating on Taylor Swift, and she'll be like, that is not nice. I'm like, Mom, we can see you. We can see you.
Also, it's the internet. Nobody's nice.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Right. It's like I talk about this a lot. She worked third shift for most of her career. So she retired during the pandemic, and it was an Encino Man situation where she just woke up and discovered like, wow, there are trolls in the comments on Facebook. Like, yeah, Mom, we've been dealing with them for like 10 years. Welcome to the club.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah. So she's home solving murders and defending Taylor Swift.
Okay, good. Well, let her know. Let me know if she solved any murders lately. I'm always interested in that. Oh, my God. Anything else going over there in your area of Pennsylvania where apparently some of our latest inmates are from?
Yes, I've had to jump into several Facebook groups and talk about the pronunciation of Wilkes-Barre. Now, locals do tend to say Wilkes-Barre, just like real quick. But it's Wilkes-Barre is the name of the town. And I only know that because I worked in radio and I had to learn how to say it properly.
Okay, well, I said it correctly on our episode on Monday.
You did. I just finished listening. Yes, you did.
I said Amye Archer has told me to say it correctly. It's not Wilkes-Barre. It's Wilkes-Barre.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. It is like John Wilkes Booth and Barry Plath. Bink.
I did sort of kind of remember that. I was like, something about Barry Plath. Okay, Barry. Yeah.
I know you're lying around thinking about Barry Plath.
Ew. No, but let me tell you what I am thinking about. Our Mariah. She just
I saw it. I saw it.
So off pitch, so off key. I don't know much about music, but I know that that's not good.
That's more like the torturing poets department because she's torturing the inner poet in me. I just want to shake her by her shoulders, not harm her in any way.
It's just like maybe if she had a voice teacher, they could get her on key, on pitch, whatever it is. It's just because probably she could carry a tune. It's just in the wrong. She's
carrying a tune next to Angela's egg that she's carrying. I don't know what's going on there. Do you think we could get Poodle over Jake Anthony over there to give her some voice lessons.
No, he doesn't want to get involved in that mess. No, he does not. Oh, Lord help us. Well, let's get into these dum-dums.
Let's do it.
HEA Season 8, Episode 6, The Itsy Bitsy Liar.
Oh, I know who that's about. And I'm going to need from you 2 to 3 full minutes for me to rail on Ed later.
Okay. Is the Itsy Bitsy Liar Sophie?
I hate to think that it might be what Nicole is calling Mahmoud, or it could be Sophie, it could be Ed. There's a lot of short kings and queens on this show. And I'm a little itty bitty person too, so I get it.
Yeah, you are a little tiny thing. All right, the Itsy Bitsy Liar. So let's start with Emily and Kobe. The episode did start with Mahmoud and Nicole, but we're going to end with them. Mm-hmm. That's her name, right? Nicole? Isn't that just like crazy that just went out of my head? Like I couldn't remember her name.
That happened.
I was writing notes on her less than 4 minutes ago before we logged on to here. So Emily and Kobe. So these two arrive at the hotel to get some drinks. It's after the handball game. Now that handball game, running around on that wet concrete. So he puts his leg up. Also, his knee wasn't supported when he had his leg up. I know she's trying to not be bossy, but I would have been like, you need a different chair.
Well, like I said last week, she is the one who suffers if he's down and out.
Yeah.
He can't help her with the kids. He can't do the guy stuff that I'm sure she makes him do outside. Mm-hmm. Like taking out trash and cutting grass. He can't do any of that.
No, can't do anything. So he says, yeah, he had fun today, getting to see his guys and playing handball. And she goes, well, I had that conversation with your friends. And basically they told me that he's just you're not going to be happy with me in the long run. In the long run, we won't be happy together. And he goes, how did this conversation even come up? And she goes, literally, they brought it up, which they did.
They did.
They brought it up to me to like poke at me. And she goes, I'm just going to be honest. Like, I don't know if I want these people at the wedding who don't even want you to be married to me. You going to invite your ex-girlfriend too? Like, is she invited to the wedding? So he goes, I don't know where this is coming from. Like, what are you talking about? And she says, one of your friends told me that when you were dating me in China, you were still dating the girl in Cameroon. And he's like, what? Why are you bringing this up? Like, why are now you digging into who I'm dating? And she goes, it came from your best friend, Valerie. He brought it up. He told me. Yeah. So that's what she needs to get. It's Valerie out there. He needs to understand Valerie's out there stirring the shit.
Last week, I called these guys sort of a broke down version of the goofballs, if you will. Now I'm just naming them the assholes because they are real dickbags during this episode. I'm sorry for my language, but they are.
They are. And I wish I could remember. So it was on Pillow Talk. I think it was Andre and Libby. I think it was them too, but it could have been Robert and Annie, which I'm getting sick of Robert and Annie. Robert screams way too much.
Okay.
But one of them said they're not the goofballs, they're the sleazeballs.
Oh, there you go. That's a good one too. Yep.
So then, now she's all mad. And she was like, do you talk to your ex? Like, does she know about me? Does she know that, like, now you're married to me and we have kids? And he's like, of course she does. She knows about you. She knows about her kids. Yeah, she does. And yeah, I talk to her sometime, but he probably just means like on Facebook, they, send something back and forth. And he's then and her talking head. She goes, whatever we did before we met each other is the past. Of course, I've dated other people too, but I do want to know,
and she's right and he's right.
Yeah, and I just want to know, like, did he lie to me? Was he dating that girl? And he said he wasn't, like, when he was in China, because we got engaged right away, So,
and this timeline, sorry, my dogs are barking, so I'm trying to mute my mic. This timeline is real short to me because this all happened during the pandemic, which was only 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And they already have 3 kids?
Currently, they have 3 kids. But remember, when she left, she went back to China to see him.
That's
she
right.
left the second time she was pregnant.
That's right. Okay. But still, it feels like a very compressed timeline.
So when he showed up to the States, the baby was 9 months old because they didn't see each other for 18 months.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yep.
So now they go through this checkpoint where they're asked for their documents, passport, visas. They made such a big deal about this in their previews. Like we thought they were about to be gunned down in their car. They were just like, it's just weird. We don't have this in the States, or you get stopped, with guns or whatever. So they're going to meet, or going to like a kiddie park to meet with their mutual friend from China. And she's happy to see a face of someone that she knows, because this girl, whose name is also Valerie with an IE, roomed with Kobe when they lived in China. They were been friends since they were 16 years old. And Valerie says she was there when he met Emily.
Yep.
Like he was taking his shirt off.
She's very sweet. She's very sweet.
I loved how Emily was like, you come to the States and visit us. We'll have tons of kids. You can bring all your kids. She goes, no, this is it. Just the one.
Will she cook? She better be cooking when she's in the States.
She better be cooking the minute she arrives. So she tells Valerie about the concerns of Kobe's friends and, how they're concerned about the relationship. And they're like, maybe she's bossy. And Valerie goes, okay, yeah, like you are bossy. And, and Kobe better listen to you or you'll get angry. And our culture is different. And maybe sometimes you should listen to Kobe. Like you should let him be the man of the house. And she goes, okay, I could ease up. Like I get it. I get it. I know how I am. And it's not like I'm bossy. I just like to get shit done, which is what bossy people say. And Valerie says, look, I think what you should do is just try to get to know them better. And she goes, that's what I'm going to do. I want to take them out, show them fun Emily, and then they can really see how great our relationship is. And that's what I'm going to do.
Because Mary Payne, what do you do when a situation is already tense? You add alcohol. It's going to go good.
Take everybody out to the club. Mm-hmm. So, the two of them are sitting in a talking head, and they talk about how they're going to go out to the club in Cameroon, and they wish they could do it more, where they live. They wish it could go out more. And he goes, I have no social life. I just work and go home and with the kids. And she's like, yeah, welcome to being a dad. Yeah. They want to have 5 kids, They want to have 5.
Yeah, you want to have 5 kids, you got to do the time. That's it.
Do it while you're young. Mm-hmm. So they go out to the club, and Emily's like, yeah, I'm taking them out. I want to show them that we're fun. So she's invited these sleazeballs out. So they all sit on one couch, and she and Kobe sit on another, and he's having fun. He's dancing. He's like, this is how white people dance. And she's like, stop. And they've got bottle service, and they seemed like, all right, this is going to be a good time, right? But outside, before this even kicks off, outside, Valerie is saying, we can't forget the disrespect of the wife. So we're just going to have to pray for their marriage to make it be what Kobe wants it to be.
This is a real problem, this person. There's a real problem here.
I fully understand that it's different cultures.
Sure.
But her point is also valid. Her point is, I get that you guys have a different culture, but I also have a different culture. So we could kind of meet in the middle. It doesn't have to be just his way or just my way. Absolutely. She's willing to give in a little bit, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I think she handles herself well. I really do. And I know last week I was kind of like, well, she needs to dial it down a little bit. And I do think she does. At one point, Kobe's getting up and she's like, oh yeah, you don't want to mess your nice shirt. She's constantly telling him what to do. She's got to dial that back a little bit.
Yeah.
But she handles the friends really well, I think.
She kind of moms him a lot. Let me help you get your coat off. And let me, just and that's hard.
That might be Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. If you've always been that way, it might be hard to dial it back.
Yeah. And that's probably what they're reacting to is that exact thing, the momming. But I don't know.
He's never said he doesn't like it.
Right. And they come for her pretty hard, though. I don't know. I don't like this.
So, in the bar, Valerie says, I'm surprised that you would ask us out after that conversation. She goes, oh, the one that you told me about the ex-girlfriend? And he goes, yeah. He goes, and the way to get to know somebody in our country is you invite them into your home and you offer them food and drink. And she's like, I don't have a house here. And they go, well, you're staying in an apartment. And Kobe goes, it's like a hotel room with a kitchen. What? And he's like, well, you could have invited us there and fed us there.
No, they're assholes. That's an asshole thing to say. No.
It is. And she goes, I just brought you out so we could enjoy each other's company. And the other friend says, yeah, but in Africa, you're being judged as a woman by your hospitality and your style of way of doing a visit for the first time. And what we expect from African women, just from women, is you prepare food and you welcome us to come in, and you should understand our ways. Emily should understand our ways.
Here's the thing. I guarantee you, if these men came to visit in America, their misogyny would not just dissipate.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, that is just, Emily is an American woman. It's just baked into everything she does. She's doing her best. She's being respectful, but it's just who she is. And so, like, she can't just transform into somebody else.
Yeah.
It's real strange.
I understand.
She's being respectful. She really is.
Trying.
And I would say if she wasn't, you know what I mean? But I think she's doing her best.
And she goes, look, if you come to America, I'll invite you into my home and I'll cook you food. That's what I would do at our house in America. And Kobe goes, look, we're just trying to have fun. And of course he just feels like in the middle. And Emily goes, it seems like you guys, like, no matter what I do, I'm not going to be good enough.
Ding, ding, ding.
And Valerie starts to talk and she goes, I'm not done talking. And he goes, oh, okay. Because you're bossy. Because she would not allow herself to be interrupted. She was like, I'm still trying to make my point.
Yeah.
And they're like, you're bossy. And she goes, you know what? Okay, just forget it. And she walks away. And you know what? That's exactly what I would have done. I would have been like, before I lose my mind up in here, I'm going to take my drink and walk away.
Lose your mind up in here, up in the club.
Up in the club.
So how did you feel about, like, I was of two minds of this. Because at first I was like, Kobe, why are you not saying anything?
Yeah.
But then he says she was handling herself. Like, so what did you feel about him not saying anything through this whole thing?
Well, he wants her to handle herself because that's what he's attracted to. He's attracted to her being a strong, opinionated woman. Mm-hmm. And he likes it. But like he said before they went, like in front of his friends, he hopes that she will take it back a little bit. She doesn't necessarily want her to act like what they all say a Cameroonian woman should act like. He doesn't want her to act like that. He just wants her to be somewhere in the middle. But any of these guys too, if somebody is coming at their wife like that, should just be like, okay,
right,
let's stop this.
Yeah, I kind of felt like he should have maybe said that. Like, give her a little room to stand up for herself, but then be like, guys, you're being ridiculous.
We're done with this now.
Especially because this is supposedly, like, out of concern for him. So he needs to say, I don't need your concern.
Right.
Knock it off.
Right, because they're like, oh, down the road, it's not, down the road, he'll have to leave and come back here because he won't be able to take it. But I mean, they've now had 3 children and they're very happy.
And guess what? If down the road that happens, it happens. This isn't going to prevent that.
No. So hopefully next week we will see that after she walks off, he gets mad at them and it was like, we're done with this. This is enough. Like, stop bashing on her.
I want to see him in one of those YouTube videos just beating on those guys. And
I don't want to see
the fight.
No, I don't want to see that. Y'all, it's time to upgrade your uncomfortable shapewear. Support for today's episode comes from my favorite, HoneyLove. Whether you're a bride, a wedding guest, or simply seeking some everyday smoothing, are you going out to dinner with your friends and don't want to look lumpy and bumpy? HoneyLove has got you covered. You could groove on the dance floor. You can do whatever. It doesn't roll down, which is unheard of. They've got this flexible boning that's hidden in the side seam, so it's not uncomfortable, but it doesn't roll down, guys. And guess what else? This piece is a booty lifter. This is the Super Power Short, guys. It's a booty lifter. I've talked about how much I need some booty lifting. The boost bands on the back of the thigh give your bottom just a little bit of shape that you need. We've all been there, guys, struggling to take off a tight piece of shapewear in the bathroom with the line out the door. Their Super Power Short has a 100% cotton gusset, so you can skip the extra undies. Plus, it has a convenient opening in the panty area for easy bathroom, no costume changes required. They have more than sculpt wear, of course. They have this amazing bra I've already told you about. They have tanks, they have leggings. You guys, they have it all. Shapewear shouldn't be hard. You guys need to go check out HoneyLove. So treat yourself to the best bras and shapewear out there and get 20% off at honeylove.com/pinkshade. Use this exclusive link to get 20% off. That's honeylove.com/pinkshade. After your purchase, they're going to ask you where you heard about them and say, I heard it from Pink Shade. I'll support the show and tell them that we sent you. Shape your life with HoneyLove. With Mother's Day coming up, I wanted to take a quick moment to appreciate not only the moms, but anyone who's taken on the role of caregiver. You do everything for everyone else. Now it's time to do something for you, starting with your skin. Today's sponsor, OneSkin, has a simple, scientifically validated routine that keeps your skin looking and feeling good. And here's the best part. It also targets the root cause of aging. The secret is OneSkin's proprietary OS01 peptide is the first ingredient proven to switch off the aging cells that cause lines, wrinkles, and thinning skin. And they've got several studies to back it up. I've been using their products for a while now. I'm going to say several months, and I'm hooked. I put their moisturizer on at night, and I'm telling you guys, it's really working. But just don't take my word for it. OneSkin has over 4,000 five-star reviews. Now 4,001, am I right? And was recently recognized by Fast Company as one of the most innovative brands of 2024. For a limited time, you'll get an exclusive 15% off your first OneSkin purchase using the code PINKSHADE when you check out at oneskin.co. oneskin.co. You do so much for others. Try OneSkin today and do something good for yourself, okay? And when they ask you, hey, where did you hear about us? Make sure you tell them Pink Shade. Thanks. Now, as we do with Ed and Liz, we just give you a brief recap because we don't give them a lot of attention. So I'll give you my brief recap and then I'll let you rant.
Recap. I like that because it's
recap.
It's accurate.
Yeah. Ed and Liz. So it's very dramatic music, everything. We find out these two had a fight over too hot taco pasta that he gave to the daughter Riley, and then he just said the daughter should suck it up and eat it. And Liz said, like, that's not how this works. This is my kid. And then he left. She woke up and he was gone. Then he apparently called the wedding officiant to cancel the wedding, who then spoke to Liz. So that's how Liz found out her wedding is canceled.
Yep.
Liz should also thank her lucky stars. So now we see him at his sister's house, Elizabeth. First of all, I didn't know he had any siblings. Because
I didn't either.
He has real spoiled only child energy.
It seems like he was just hatched in a different universe and came to us as a nightmare.
Yeah. And she's got glasses on because she just had cataract surgery. So he's like, oh, I have to apologize to you for like how Liz blew up at me the other night in front of the whole family. And I was trying to tell you, like, this is how she is.
Which we have no video of, correct? We have no video of it.
No video. Nope. He's just so embarrassed. He's so embarrassed. And he called the owner of the wedding venue, and then they were able to cancel the catering and everything. And he started calling his friends, and it's really real now. And they just need to admit that they need to move on. And Sister Elizabeth says, you really need to marry someone who's a born-again Christian. And he says, oh, yeah, because
this came out of nowhere.
He's so Christ-like, Ed. Yeah. Now, all of a sudden, now we're, okay. And he says, yeah, I gotta meet up with Liz. Like, we need to meet at a neutral place so I could just let her know. It's not going to be like the last 13 times we broke up. Like, this is the final ending. We're not meant to be together. I'm not going to apologize and then we move on. It's not going to be like every other time. This is not about being angry. I've just fully realized we're not meant to be together. I can see clearly it's never going to work. We're setting ourselves up for failure. So he's trying to act like he has now gotten some sort of maturity in his life and he's making this decision where if you've broken up 13 times, probably time number 3 was the time.
He's such a manipulator.
He's such a gaslighter.
He is such a manipulator. And this is how he operates always with the audience, with people in his life, with Liz. Everything you see of this man on screen is so carefully curated. And when you see him, we hardly ever get it. But when you get him in uncensored moments, like I went back before we recorded and I listened to that released voicemail. Because I wanted to remember what it was about that voicemail. It was so horrible. First of all, the voicemail fight, if you guys don't know, was leaked a couple of years ago. And I guess the context that I gleaned from it is that Liz called him to ask him if it would be okay if she were to give a coworker, who I'm assuming is male, a ride home to XYZ. Okay? And he says to her on the phone in front of this person, absolutely. I think it's wonderful that you're doing that for XYZ or whatever. So she's like, okay, well then, behind the scenes, that's not really what he meant because everything is carefully calculated. So behind the scenes, his real feelings are, you're dumb, you're stupid. Like he's constantly putting her down. He's screaming at her. Like, you're just dumb. You're just stupid. Stop being an idiot. You're like, he has so much contempt for her. And this is how he controls her. Like he's just constantly, there's this talking down to. And it just drives me crazy with him because he tried so hard to present this image to the audience of, I'm this fun-loving guy. Like, I don't know if he did this to you, but I know he did it to Reality Gaze. He reached out to them before the season started where we first saw him and was like, can I send you some stickers? You know, I'd love to come on your show. Like this kind of bullshit. And I don't know if you watched Last Resort, but he is a calculating, controlling monster. And that's what I think needs to be revealed, because when we don't reveal that, we just see this happy-go-lucky guy on a bike with his little dog. It's like, no, you're a monster.
Yeah, I think he's a monster. And it's interesting, too, because Kimberly and I have been discussing, like, did they get married? Kimberly thought they did.
I don't think they did.
Kimberly thought they did get married and they split up. I said, well, I know in real time they're split up. Like, she's back in California.
Well, the reason everybody thought they got married is because all those articles that were out around the time were based on their wedding website and their invitations. But nobody saw. I did a deep dive on this last night, try and figure out where is the picture of Liz in a wedding dress at an altar with him. Can't find it. So at the time, everybody was like, oh, no pictures emerged, so they must be filming it. That's what everybody thought. Yeah. But I think no pictures emerged because it didn't happen. Is what I think.
Okay, yeah, because sometimes if there's no pictures, that means it's because it's all, they want to stay on TLC, so they're not breaking their contract or whatever by revealing it, which so many people are stupid and do.
I would love to know, do we know anything about Liz's father?
No.
I would love to know what her relationship is like with her father.
See, I barely know about Liz because when he was on The Single Life the first time and he met that girl that was like in Mexico, remember when they there was like a shooting and they had to get under the table?
Yes.
Then and that girl seemed nice. And then after that is when he got back together with Liz. And I was like, who's Liz? Like, I didn't see whatever season.
I didn't either.
Before that.
Right. I didn't either. I got to know Liz during Last Resort. And she had called her mom, and her seemed to have a decent relationship, but I don't know where the dad is. And I'd just be interested to know because, what is that pattern like for her in her life? Or what did she see modeled? You know what I mean? It's interesting.
Because she is only 30 and this will be her third marriage and she has a 10-year-old. So, I mean, there's some shit that's happened there.
And apparently he was nasty to her kid in this fight. They made the taco pasta, which, by the way, 90 Days official Instagram is savage because now they have a recipe on there for breakup taco pasta. And so she
lots of pillow talk discussion about what the fuck is taco pasta.
I thought it was like a hamburger helper sitch, but
yeah, me too.
I guess the kid said it was too hot, like too spicy. And he told her, he said something to her, this allegedly, like grow up or, stop complaining, stop being a baby. And Liz defended her kid and she should. Yeah. And I wish we had footage of it. If only there was a production crew on these people. I don't know.
It's just because I think he saves that really, really bad behavior.
Yeah. For all behind the scenes.
And he claims that's what she does. That's how she is. That's how she is.
Yep.
But I mean, is she that way with every relationship or just him?
Yeah, we don't know. And two things can be true. They can both be terrible people in their relationships. We don't know. But he is the one pretending to be super sweet, mature.
Yeah. Yeah, right. I will say, speaking of two terrible people, let's move on to Sophie and Rob. So Sophie's back home at the apartment. And he says, I'm going to make her some breakfast. Who doesn't like salmon on crackers with a ball of soft cheese for breakfast?
I mean, I'd take the cheese. But
I was all about the cheese.
Yeah.
This is another reason she's weird. She doesn't like cheese. So,
well, my co-host Amanda does not like cheese, so I have to defend non-cheese likers here.
I don't understand that.
I don't get it either, but I respect it. Hey, whatever. She likes certain cheeses, but she has cheese rules. She doesn't, I don't know, whatever.
Cheese rules. I'm looking for the book. There's a book that Katie and Kimberly gave me. It's all about cheese. I can't find it.
I love cheese, yeah. Any kind of cheese. Give it to me, whatever it is.
So he gives her the wedding. It's a ring that he pulled out of his junk drawer in his kitchen. And he says, this is her wedding ring. And he puts it in the cheese. She's like, gross. I don't really like cheese. And he goes, I know you don't really like cheese.
Such a metaphor. The cheesy ring and the cheese. Such a metaphor.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then she picks it up and goes, this is not my ring. And he goes, yeah, it is. And she goes, no, I have a lot of these little fashion ones. She probably has a bunch of little stackable fake rings, right? Yeah. You can get a bunch of fun ones. And she's like, I think it's just one of those fun fashion ones. He goes, well, if it's not your ring, then where is your ring? And she goes, I don't know. And he goes, so the producer asked him, well, is that not a ring? He goes, I don't know. And they said, what are you going to do if it's not a ring? He goes, I'm going to pretend like I don't know. Like, I don't know.
I don't think I've ever lost my wedding ring.
I think that she left the house and took it off and put it somewhere. And then he probably, in a fit of anger, like scooped all her shit into a drawer or whatever, and some of her like little fashion, like cheap rings all kind of mixed together.
Maybe.
So now, we know he has 6 tarantulas. So we only meet 3. We meet Swag, Venom, and Amore. He says, tarantulas can live for like 30 years, and they both really love animals. That makes him continue to talk about spiders, and then she talks about snails. Spiders, also snails, not animals.
Yeah, she tells this really touching story about being a kid and trying to save snails. And if, we know her background is so tragic. Like, it was just so sad. And then this idiot's over there like, pet my tarantula, and if you don't love me. I'm like, okay, I would bang you, but okay, don't open your mouth.
Okay, so she touches the spider. She's like, I'm going to do it. Are you proud of me? I'm touching it.
Would you have done it? If you were dating Dave and you were in your like cool girl phase, where you're trying to reel somebody in like we all do, would you have touched Dave's tarantula? That sounds sexual. I don't mean it to be at all. If Dave had a pet spider, would you touch it?
The whole time that she's going, I'm going to touch it. I'm going to touch it. He's like, yeah, touch it. Should I touch it? I was like, it's just so weird. It was so weird. Now, here's what I read about tarantulas. This is from Ye Old Goog. Tarantulas do not like being held, touched, or handled. Some tarantulas may tolerate it better than others due to more docile attitudes. But as far as we know, tarantulas don't have the emotional capacity to have the benefits of this like a dog or a cat. Tarantulas do not seek out affection and actually prefer to be left alone. They need to be not in sunlight at all and in a large terrarium. These are
so he's doing this all wrong.
6 individual little like plastic boxes.
Yeah.
That they can't move around.
This moron probably did not even Google how to keep a tarantula, because that's probably would come right up.
It seems like, and also it said that if they're given an opportunity, they will jump out and escape.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So that's why he has the lids on. But it seems like you have like a big fish tank thing with like a tight lid with just some holes for air.
Sure. Yeah,
and they could all move around. But maybe they have to be separate like betta fish?
Maybe they're like middle-aged women. They just want to be left alone, not touched.
Yeah.
A fan on us at all times.
Yeah. Just a little food. They're fine.
Yeah, a little bit of food. Murder show in the background.
Murder show, glass of wine. Everybody's good. So then he, from the top of the shelf where the tarantulas are, he pulls down his ring. He goes, I'm going to put my wedding ring back on, because he knew where that one was. So next we see she goes to do crafts with her bestie, Kay. Kay wants to know how their sex life is. Are they having sex now? And she says they never consummated the marriage when, remember the wedding, she was sick. And then they got really drunk. And so they never consummated. And since then, their sex life has been really bad. It's actually been 6 months since they had any sex at all. And she's like, I don't know. Maybe he's not attracted to me, but it could be because of his online porn addiction.
I was just going to say, like, allegedly, I smell porn addiction all over this. There's something going on here.
Because he couldn't do it now unless she's in a costume. And Kay's like, what? And she was like, yeah, that's kind of a new thing. And they haven't even been married a year.
This is a thing that sociologists have been studying for a long time, though. Like, what has the, I guess, like, the amount of porn that young men can consume and what it looks like what has that done to the traditional sex model? And it's not good. It's not good.
No.
It's not good for our young girls, and it's not good for our young guys.
Because look at these 2 beautiful people.
Yeah.
And he can't get with her unless she's in a costume.
Yeah, she's got to do some wild shit. Yeah, which is fine every once in a while. But, like, you should be able to, like, bang one out in the morning without having to put on elaborate costumes.
Well, that's what Kay was like. I mean, it's okay every so often, but God, like, every time. And then Kay says, what if we, like, one day, because the production told me to ask this, what if like one day would you be interested in women? This is not like, she lived with Kay for 3 months. I think Kay already knows.
This didn't come up organically.
No. As they're making crafts. And then this is where Sophie, the Itsy Bitsy Liar, says she has sexually been with women, just not emotionally. She's never dated a woman. So then we see when she tells Rob she's bi, as if she's just now thought of this, she also just came out to her mother as bi. But now she says she has been sexually with women. Rob does not know about that because she just thought, we were already fighting. Why add one more thing? And now they're really getting along. So why would she tell him now? She did lie to him.
Yeah, she's right, though. She can't tell him. He's not a safe place to drop information into. Like, he'll never let her forgive. Help me. He will never let her live it down, and he will constantly shame her for it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably all exactly right.
Sounds like an awesome husband.
So Kay goes, you guys both need therapy. I've been in therapy like my whole life. Yes, Kay.
Kay, go visit all of these couples.
And Sophie goes, I've never done therapy, but, maybe I need to. I was like, yes, we've seen your mother. Yes, you do.
She needs it. Yeah.
And Sophie says, we're really good right now, and probably we should give therapy a chance because we also need to improve our marriage and our sex life. So,
yeah.
Yep. Okay. Patrick and Thais. So they're getting ready. They're taking the baby and they're taking the dog to Brazil.
They're committed to this.
Wow.
That dog and that baby would be in a shelter.
Oh my God. That's not nice. Oh.
Can I board my baby with my dog?
Yeah.
Just put it next to him.
Yeah. So they talk about formula, like they what if they don't have the kind we want to buy there, and all this is always like a thing when you're traveling. And he goes, why don't we just bring the powder? Like that's easier than having to pack the cans or whatever. And she goes, no, then we'll look like it's drugs, look like drug dealers. They have a joke about that.
Yeah, you don't fly into those countries with a pound of powder on you. You just don't.
Well, I think if it's already sealed up,
I don't know.
Just taking like all that liquid formula is going to be heavy. That's
who they can have mule the powder in is John. Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, I look like I got a baby somewhere. I'll take it. Wouldn't be suspicious at all. So she says her dad is not happy about the way they got married, and also Patrick never really asked permission. They just told them they were getting married.
It's her fault.
And Thais goes, yeah, he just wants you to ask him in person, and you should just do it because it's best not to have a problem. And he's like, I don't know why I got to ask permission to marry a woman that I'm already married to with a baby. So
yeah.
And he goes like, you made this problem, but now I have to fix it. And she was like, yes, just go along to get along. So he says, okay. So Patrick's like, I got to ask for a blessing twice, but I want to do right by Thais. I got to talk to hot dad. And yeah. Did you see dad this week? Hot dad?
I did. Did you think his dad's hot or just her dad? Okay.
Her dad.
I'm in agreement. Yeah.
Okay. So John will be arriving in Brazil a day later, and she's like, oh God, yeah, I hope you're going to, God, keep him under control.
I'm here. Where's the potty?
I got the formula. What? They thought it was drugs. I said, no, it's for a baby.
I got the Coke. I mean the formula.
And so Patrick goes, he's not coming all the way to Brazil to cause trouble. Like, I think it's going to be a good distraction to have him here.
He might be.
So Thais says it's so great. She's so excited. It's the first time Alexi will meet her family in Brazil. And she does worry about how John will act. And this is the last chance for her dad to accept Patrick. And the pressure's on for this trip. And if not, like, it could alter their relationship, altogether. So they've arrived in Brazil. She's so happy. And we see them on the airplane, like holding that dog and that baby. And like, where did that dog go to the bathroom on the airplane?
It
might you take your dog on a log flight like that, where does the dog go potty?
I've never flown with the dog personally, but I have shipped pets. It's a long story.
Ooh.
And I had to put a little Yorkie friend of mine on a plane to go to Florida from here. And we I don't know, I think he went in the cargo section or something, which is probably full of piss and shit.
Awful. That's awful.
Yeah.
I understand if you take your dog on like a short flight and they just stay in the
here to
under
Florida,
the seat.
it's only 2 hours, so it's not a big deal. 2.5.
But from Vegas to Brazil, that doesn't sound close.
My dog Nellie, though, she's a big dog. She can hold it for 10 or 12 hours easily.
Violet's more like that. Ginger's like every 2 hours you got to go out.
Yeah, like me. That's me.
I'm like every 30 minutes. So he says, going into this trip with one leg, a dog and a baby, didn't know what was going to happen, but everybody did great. The kids and the kid and the dog, they made it easy. And I was like, oh, you guys are lucky.
Okay.
So they argue about who's going to drive. And she's like, you don't stop. He goes, my dad told me here, you don't stop when it says stop. It's yield. It's yield. She's like, no, you stop. And he goes, no, I don't think you stop.
That is such a guy thing to do.
My dad said you don't have to stop. Just a suggestion.
It is a suggestion, right?
We see a stop sign that says PARE, and I look that up. That means stop. It means stop. It doesn't mean yield. It means stop.
Well, apparently Patrick's dad also taught my girls how to drive because they also think stop signs are just yields.
They call her dad Carlos, who says, how you doing, you little bastard?
I almost spit out my coffee. That is so amazing. I'm here for all of this because Patrick's a good dude. He doesn't deserve this.
He really
but it's hilarious. It's hilarious.
He's like, well, that didn't go well. He called me a bastard. So they arrive at the apartment. He says this is an apartment that he has there that he rents from his dad, but that's where he always stayed every time he went. Dad owns the apartment, but they pay rent and they use it when they come to Brazil. Does Dad live in the apartment, or this is just a rental
I feel
property?
like not, and I wonder if it's, and this could be totally wrong, but I wonder if it's a way that they kind of help the dad out. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know, because the dad could probably Airbnb it too. So I don't know.
That's the question. Do they pay him rent year round, but they only come once a year? Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
That's a good question. Maybe they pay him rent when they are staying there. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. It was sketchy. Not sketchy. Fuzzy. Not sketchy.
It didn't make sense. Yeah. So they set up the pack and play, and then Patrick's dad, Jose, comes over. He knocks on the door, and she's like, why is he here? Like, I told my dad we couldn't see him the first night. We want to have this, you got the dog and the baby. It's a time zone, and we just want to get settled. I told my dad not to come. Like, why did he show up?
He's like, ding dong, I got some chores for you to do.
Yeah, ding dong, I'm here. All right, Loren and Alexi. So we open at Ariel's first birthday party. It's a mermaid theme. They have the 3 kids. They've got Avi, Asher, and Ariel. The whole family is dressed in black shirts and jorts.
Okay.
It's really something.
Yeah.
They've been together 10 years. They've been married for 8. Their kids are 3, 2, and 1. He's like, it's great. Here, I'm the king of the castle. This is my queen. We've got the 3 kids, and this is the last kid they're going to have. They're very happy that they've banged it all out and gotten it all done. We get reminded of their love story. She was a counselor taking some kids on a trip to, like a birthright trip to Israel, and he was the medic that was assigned to their group.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Okay.
As somebody who has kids, all right, it's very possible that one of our kids could go on like a study abroad trip or something, like this type of situation. She made it sound like, I heard the story and I rewound it to listen to it again. It sounds like they were like hitting up the club. Where were the kids?
They were. You see lots of pictures of them up in the club.
Right. Where were the kids?
Yeah. She talks
like, is
about
this when they went to bed? That she would head out to the club?
I don't think she was the only counselor on the trip. But she was like, he came on that trip and there was another girl who like wanted him to be their medic. And she's like, I back up, bitch.
Yeah, it's. I didn't see their first season because I didn't start watching 90 Day Fiancé until like season 5, so I didn't see them, so I didn't know their origin story. Yeah, they were like, I believe they were on before the 90 days because when we first met them, he hadn't come over yet, and he was on his way over, and they had like a lot of fights about like bachelor party, bachelorette party, of course. a lot of that bullshit. Now she calls him Alex, but we call him Alexi. Has that always been a thing that she's always called him Alex? She goes back and forth. He's sexy Alexi. I mean, I thought maybe because his dad is Alexi and he's there that she was calling him Alex to differentiate, but I wasn't sure. Oh, could be. Yeah, they go back and forth, but he's sexy Alexi and that's all that matters. He's hot. He's hot. So hot.
Hey, I want to tell y'all about the Row Body Program. Row provides access to the most popular weight loss shots on the market. The Row Body Program pairs a weekly shot with healthy lifestyle changes so you can lose 15 to 20% of your weight in a year on average and actually keep it off. Over 200,000 people have already chosen Row to help them lose weight. You guys, I have used those GLP-1 medications, the weight loss shots. I have done it. I lost about 30 pounds in a year and I started doing clean eating. I cut way back on alcohol, walking the dogs twice a day, and it really worked for me. And I really wish Row Body had been around when I started my weight loss journey. The body program would have been helpful to me for sure. The Row Body Program members have support throughout the process. Their partner handles all of the insurance paperwork to help get the medication covered. If eligible for medication, patients will have access to the provider on demand for any questions. You can sign up online from the comfort of your own home. This means no scheduling a doctor's appointment, no commute to the doctor's office, and best of all, no waiting rooms. Average weight loss is 15 to 20% in 1 year with healthy lifestyle changes. BMI and other eligibility criteria apply. Go to row.co/pinkshade. Sign up today and you'll pay just $99 for your first month, $145 a month after that. Medication costs are separate. That's ro.co/pinkshade. So, she was like, it's been 3 years of baby making. It's been hard on my body. Like, I'm ready to do something for myself. So she chats with her two friends and her mom, and they talk about how she's getting this natural mommy makeover. She explains.
Okay. All right. I'm like, this doesn't natural? What does that even mean? I don't feel like, I understand what she's saying. Natural in that there's nothing foreign put into your body.
Right.
But when I think of natural, I don't associate it with surgery.
You're still going to be knocked out for 5 hours.
When you're moving things to places they're not supposed to be, that's not natural.
That's right. I think that she just is calling it natural, but she has abdominal diastasis from the 3Cs. I have it too. It's like a I have a hernia there in the middle. And from the, where your muscles rip when you're pregnant. And she's got that. And she says it is actually uncomfortable. And so, by the way, that is an abdominal surgery. If you just did that alone.
Yeah.
So she's saying she's having this lipo 360, which is sort of also known as like sonobello, like lots of people do it. Mm-hmm. And you can do that under sort of local anesthesia, not general anesthesia. Mm-hmm. I still think it hurts like a bitch.
Yeah.
But she is going to be doing this for 5 hours in addition to putting the fat into the boobs. So
yeah.
I don't know what's happening.
That's what I'm saying. When you're taking fat from somewhere else and putting it somewhere else, let's not label it natural.
It's not natural. They're not giving her like a puff on a joint and saying you're walking out of here with a new body. Everybody would do it.
Yeah, and I just feel like, this is not my cup of tea. I personally would not do this, but I just have a real hard time with everyone shaming her into wanting to do this. Like, this is her body. Let her do what she wants. Yeah. Let her do what she wants. This is how she feels.
They're giving her a hard time about it. Yeah. And he was like, I'm here to support her. This is her body, Mm-hmm. She explains like she has all this noise in her brain and always has. She's got like body dysmorphia.
She's body dysmorphia. Sure.
And after having the 3 kids, she's really hoping doing this will, really help it. By the way, probably won't. But
yeah, that's what I was just going to say. I wish she would go to therapy before she did the surgery. Just say, I have body dysmorphia. Maybe I should go to therapy for like 6 months. And then at the end of the 6 months, I'll make the decision if I want to do it or not. Because
I'm hoping she's doing both.
Yeah, I hope so too.
But I kind of followed her whole journey on Instagram when she did it. And she does seem to be very like happy with the results and stuff. So Alexi, I followed her on Instagram because probably she got it for free and God bless.
Yeah.
So Alexi chats with Lauren's mom, Marlene, after the birthday party.
She's a problem.
She's always been a little much.
Yeah.
And he says, my dad is really happy for us with this birthday and the kids. And it's frustrating for him. He can't communicate that well. And then we are reminded that Loren and Alexi wanted to move to Israel for a couple of years. And her parents were not on board. And we see mom yelling, shut the fuck up, in her daughter's face because mom said, yeah, well, mom said, you can't hack it living in Israel. Let's be real. Like, you're a pretty princess. And mom's not completely wrong in that, but I think she's like, I wanted to move there to support him and be there for a couple of years, and then we'll move back. And Mom was just so against it, you know?
Right. And if I'm pretty princess, maybe you do need to let me do this so I can, break out of that.
Yeah. Yeah. And he says he does hope one day that they'll get to move to Israel, but it's not on the table right now. And we do know that in real time, Alexi's got a lot of opinions on Israel. He is from Israel.
That we don't know anything about.
We know nothing about it.
No.
He could be completely wrong. He could be completely right. We don't have a clue. So,
right. I know what I don't know, and this is what I don't know.
I don't know anything about this. So they talk about the surgery thing, and Mom says, she's making this choice, but I don't agree with it. And he goes, well, I got to support her. What are you going to do? And he goes, we've checked with the doctor. The clinic is great. Everything's great. And I'll be working full time. She'll be out of commission. And his talking head, he goes, it's going to be up to 8 weeks of no lifting. And we're going to both be cranky. And that's going to suck. But this is what she wants to do. And I'm supporting her. But whatever. Mm-hmm. And then he tells Mom that they're about to see the doctor for the last consultation. And maybe he could push back a little. We'll see.
Doesn't he say this might be my chance to sabotage it?
He does. But I don't think he means it.
Again, a woman's body is hers to do what she wants. Now, it's right. Totally within the mother's right to say, this is an elective surgery and I'm worried about you. You have young children if something were to happen. But you know what? We take a chance when we get on airplanes. Like, whatever. Who knows?
That's right. Right.
So this is her decision to make. And Alexi does have to be on board. I agree with that because it affects him in terms of being her partner and her co-parent. Right.
Yeah.
But as long as he's on board, whatever.
And Dad's there to help.
Yeah. Do what you got to do.
So, now we're going to end with where we started the program, which is Nicole and Mahmoud. So this
is wild.
These two hate each other so strongly. I don't know why they didn't get divorced after she left Egypt the second time. I don't know.
But this is the way that she talks to him, like, you hateful little, like, that is what you hear Ed talking to Liz behind the scenes. Yes. That's how he talks to her on that voicemail. So.
Yes, but this is how... Yeah,
she does it out in public.
Mahmoud has said horrible things to her as well. They're a horrible match.
Yeah. They need to just separate forever.
So she is telling her friends as we open, she's sorry that she made them uncomfortable, but enough is enough. So Julian goes out to talk to Mahmoud, who's outside smoking, and he says, look, man, a girl say awful things to hurt you. I mean,
Julian.
And he goes,
Who hurt you, Julian? Who hurt you?
And he goes, I mean, so do we. Guys do things too, right? But
sure.
You just got to try to be patient. And Mahmoud says, I've been here just 2 days. She's talking to me like this in front of her friends. I can't accept it. And I told her, like, you can't go out with your back like that. It's against my religion. Like I told her, and that's what we're fighting about. And he goes, but you guys got to meet halfway. And he goes, yeah, I told her if I came to America, I'll meet halfway, but I've been here just 2 days. And Julian says, look, I got to tell you, man, the way she dresses way more conservatively than women in LA. You should see some of these other whores out here in the street, man. Wow. Look at my wife.
Just take a walk around and look at all the whores.
God. And Mahmoud says, we've been together 4 years. She knows how I am. She knows like what I expect. And so I've only been here 2 days. So Julia's just like, look, my wife, Olga, is from Ukraine. And, she had to change a bit who she was. I had to change a bit who I am. And, everybody has to change a little to meet in the middle. And Mahmoud says, she does not accept who I am. She will never accept who I am. And Julian goes,
and you don't accept who she is, dude.
Totally.
Yeah.
And Julian says, but divorce is also bad in your religion, right? Right? You should try to work it out. I don't. Julian, you have no skin in this game. Just
Julian,
let him leave. Let him leave. Let him leave. Literally put him in an Uber and send him to the airport.
Julian is all of us standing in the kitchen watching this bullshit, begging for alcohol to get out of it.
He's like, I know if I open that freezer, something will be in there.
Oh, God.
So in the talking head, she was like, I don't know. I'm just so angry. Like 2 hours ago, he said he wanted a divorce over this dress. And now in front of my friends, he's lying about it. And I think I just had enough and I just lost my mind. So she goes into the bedroom and he's packing, right? And she's washing her friends are still there. She's in the bathroom washing her face. She's like, I'm getting ready for bed. I don't care what the fuck you guys are doing.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
They're all drunk, right?
Yeah. They're all drunk.
Okay. Except Mahmoud, obviously. But they're all drunk because, when you're drunk, you just, everything's real pronounced and dramatic. And I feel like I've been in this situation in my early 20s, probably. But
Also, does she not have a couch? Why are they all standing in the big open space where her loom is? Like,
I don't
it's
know.
so
And the
weird.
mannequin again is staring at us.
So she's washing her face. So Julian is standing outside the door, and this is comedy
classic.
gold.
This is great.
Julian says, yeah, I think Mahmoud is a genuine guy, and he's trying to give his all, but it's a frustration situation. They're clashing at the moment. Get out of my fucking house! Go! Get the fuck out of here if you want to be a traitor. Go! Just go! Get out of here! Go!
If you want to be a traitor. I was like, what does that mean? At first, okay, I thought she was yelling at Julian. And then I'm like, oh my God, she's yelling at Mahmoud back there. It was wild.
And traitor.
Julian's just like silent and just staring at the camera like, am I allowed to go now? Am I allowed to leave? Can I get out of here?
And they see her like fighting drunkenly with that sliding door, like, wow, wow. She's trying to wash her face and her red hair is like sticking up all over the place. Oh my God. And her talking head, she goes, when he started looking at his suitcase, I just lost my mind. He won't communicate with me. He's not emotionally available to me. What's the point? I lost my mind. I did.
Yeah.
And she did.
Okay.
So then she says, Mahmoud, like she's so stupid, like Mahmoud. And he goes, nope, you just said I should go out. So don't make it like you didn't say that. That's what she said. She goes, oh, shut up. Just stop. You know I say that, but I don't mean it. Just shut up.
Oh my God.
So he says, I'm not going to stay with you. And she goes, you need to calm down. Now he's perfectly calm. And then she goes, Julian, can you come and help me? Look at this. Look at what he's doing. Julian's like, I met this dude 25 minutes ago. Yeah. And now you want me to intervene? Just
yeah. Julian is like, please. I know I agreed to the TGI Fridays gift card, but I don't need it that bad.
And Julian says, come on, man. Like, don't do this, man. Come on, Mahmoud. Don't do this, man. And Mahmoud's just trying to go. And he's going, just let me go. Just let me go. He's got his suitcase and stuff. And she's like, shut up, Mahmoud. Just shut up. Yeah. And he's like, let me go. So she's grabbing him and grabs his suitcase and rolls it into the other room. And as he's like grabbing at her, he gets like, don't touch me. Like, don't touch me.
Well, this is why I asked you last week when the DV charge happens. Because I thought maybe it was like in this escalated situation. Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know either. So he gets out the front door without a suitcase. He's like, I don't care about the suitcase. I'm leaving.
Yeah,
I'm leaving.
They put him out on the street and they keep his suitcase.
She's like rolling the suitcase going, shut up. So Julian's like, oh my God. She's like, just go get him, Julian. Julian's like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, she's got some real contempt for him and him for her, and they need to be far away from each other.
They don't need to be alone in a room together. He packed his shit, let him go.
That mannequin has seen some shit.
I mean, so, you know, in an earlier confessional, he says, like, look, what I'm finding out is, like, she invited her friends over here. I'm so tired. I traveled for 2 days, and she had alcohol hidden in the fridge that she didn't tell me about. Like, she's lying. You know, and I don't think that was cool either that she had the alcohol there and he didn't know about it because that's a real problem for him. That is a real religious thing for him.
Yeah. And I think he's picking up on what we're all picking up on is that she is trolling him, right?
I don't think she's trolling him. I just think she wants to have complete control over him.
It's wild.
And now that he's here, she's like, okay, now he's here and he has to do what I say and I should be able to wear what I want and I should be able to have alcohol. But he's like, his point is valid. I've only been here 2 days. You have given me no time.
Do you think, though, that it's pent up anger over how he treated her? You know, like, okay, now you're on my turf and I'm going to make your life miserable like you did to me.
Yeah, I had to stay in that bedroom in Egypt for months at a time. And every time I had to make a cup of tea, I had to ask you how to do it.
Right.
You know, these two, of all the people we've seen that are mismatched, I mean,
they're really toxic, and we know it ends badly. And I mean, the writing's on the wall here. It's going to end bad, explosively.
So we didn't get Ashley and Manuel this week, and we didn't get Jasmine and Gino. We've got a break from them, thank God. So next time on Happily Ever After, Jasmine visits a friend who gives her a birthday cake, and she cries.
Oh, you just said it like Gino. I heard you.
Cake.
Birthday cake.
Birthday cake. Jasmine. Her friend gives her a birthday cake, and she says all she wants is for her kids to come to be with her and Gino. And
so sad.
She's really realizing that, you know, she's taken for granted all the time that she got to have birthdays with her kids.
Mm-hmm.
So, excuse me, guys. So Patrick's dad is over there, and he's like, while you're here, we got some paint, we got some faucets to be fixed. That tub could use a good scrubbing.
Mm-hmm.
And Ty says she doesn't know why Patrick can't see that Jose always has selfish intentions.
Okay.
Alexi is asking the doctor about the side effects of Loren's surgery, and was like, it's a 5-hour surgery and what could happen. Of course, they tell you all the things. I mean, basically, when my son just recently had his wisdom teeth out, like the oral surgeon, and they're like, and you could be numb from the chin to the waist for the rest of your life. He's like, what?
Right.
They have to tell you that. Okay.
Yeah.
Manuel and Ashley go to meet with his uncle, and he's like, it's most important to me that you believe in God because they're very Catholic. And Manuel's saying, I really hope Ashley doesn't blow it.
Wrong tree.
Because she's like, I believe in God, but it's like different. And Manuel's like, oh no, say nothing else.
Just say nothing.
Say nothing. Ed says he can't plan this wedding knowing it's going to fail. He knows she's going to be upset, but he owes her a face-to-face conversation. So they're meeting in a bar.
Oh, you think you owe your fiance whose life you destroyed a conversation?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good.
She just spent that $1,000 on that wedding dress that she didn't even have.
He's such an asshole.
Hopefully she can return it.
She could use it to marry her next boyfriend.
That's right, round 4. Emily tells Kobe that the friends have really hurt her feelings, and she's sick of it. And she goes, they're just like, you're never going to be happy with me. Do I make you happy? Like, tell me the truth. Do I make you happy? And he's like, this is ridiculous. She's like, do I make you happy? I'm going to kill you in this bar.
Tell me now.
Say it. So hopefully they go back to the table, and Kobe has told them to shut the fuck up. And
that's what needs to happen.
Yeah. Agreed. And that's it. That's it for this episode.
It was a good one. I thought it was a good one.
Yeah, I'm not hating HEA as much as I was.
Yeah,
I'm coming. I've resigned myself to it. I think my issue is just like when we got to see Love After Lockup this past Friday, and I did the episode with Keisha yesterday. It's just so nice to see some new people on our screen.
I agree. Yes, yeah. Some of these people, I like Gino and Jasmine, but I don't need to see them again.
We need a break.
Yeah, need a little break.
We need a little break. Tell me what you're covering over on Little Miss Recap. It's Amy's podcast, you guys. It's really good.
We're covering a lot of stuff. We're doing documentaries. We're doing Married at First Sight. So that's wrapping up. And that has been quite the season. Here's what happened. The men and women are all at war with each other now, the husbands and wives, because supposedly they didn't like each other right from the beginning, and they all made a pact to fake it for the cameras. Wow. So now it's all coming out. Yeah, it's all coming out. It's wild. It's really interesting. So that's finishing up. We're doing Virgin River rewatch. We're doing on our Patreon. We're doing Sister Wives. We're doing Love in Paradise, Love During Lockup, and we're doing documentaries.
Do any of those Married at First Sight people like each other now? Did they were faking it, but now they've decided they're in love?
No.
Does that happen?
Nope. And I'm interviewing Michael, one of the cast members.
I saw that picture. I was like, who is this Sidian lookalike?
Oh my God. Sidian's book is coming out soon. Everybody follow Sidian Jones. Okay. So Michael, yes, very Sidian adjacent. You are correct in that, in sniffing that out.
Looks like a little like a wonky magician. Yeah.
Yep. So we're going to interview him Wednesday. It'll be out hopefully the end of this week. And I'm going to start asking him, what was the grand plan? He wasn't in on it. He got stood up at the altar and they gave him a second chance. So his timeline was 2 or 3 weeks behind everybody else. So him and his
second chance at a new girl?
Yeah. So him and his wife were and I think there's something to this too. Him and his wife were 38 and 39 and they acted like they were the parents of these idiots. Do you know what I mean? It was really interesting because everybody else is 20.
Is he still married to this girl?
No, but it was, they're still good friends. It was very respectful. It was a good break.
Okay.
But
maybe everybody on Married at First Sight should be 38 or 39.
That's what I'm saying. Middle-aged Married at First Sight. I'm telling you. It's what we need.
Because you can understand more what actually it takes to make a relationship work. It doesn't have to be horned up all the time.
Yeah, and 30's the new 20. You have 30-year-olds acting like 20-year-olds. We need to up it a little bit to 40. Okay.
Well, that means it's 50 the new 40?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Good.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Everybody, please follow Amy over on Little Miss Recap. She has a wonderful podcast, like I just said, and she has a fun Instagram as well. And as always out here, begging for the Instagram followers, get your mom, get your dad, get your dad's business, get your mom's bridge group Instagram.
I took my mom's phone right off her at the lacrosse game the other day and bink, followed you.
Yeah, thank you. It follows yourself, I assume, first.
Oh, no, I didn't. I should. I like to keep my mom away from my things, though.
Oh, okay.
Because she would be real disappointed.
My mom just says things like, you can listen to Mary Payne's podcast if you want, but it's a lot of bad words, a lot of cussing.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm like, that's true.
I'm out here making mom proud every day. Every day.
Listen, you're a young lady business entrepreneur doing it for yourself.
There we go. There
you go.
Making TikToks about Garrick Merrifield.
Oh, God. As you should. Okay, everybody. Follow us on Instagram. Thank you very much. And I'll be here with you on Thursday to talk the Valley and Vanderpump Rules with my friend Mandy Slutsker of the podcast Is This Real Life with Mandy Slutsker? So I'll see you on Thursday. Bye, Amy.
Bye.
Ads not read by me, Mary Payne, don't necessarily reflect the views of Pink Shade. If you'd like to listen to ad-free, you're going to go on over to Supercast or Patreon, and you can find the links to Pink Shade Prime at pinkshadepodcast.com.